Nathan Robertson and Gail Emms.
So here are the number 13 seeds, Chen Qiqiu and Zhao TingTing. An impressive run through for these two, although somewhat lucky in the last round when their opponents Sang and Chen from China retired, but they absolutely whistled through their opening two matches against Roman Zernfeld and Simone Prutsch from Austria in the opening round, and then in the second round Christoph Hopp and Katin Piotrowski from Germany, dropping just 13 points in the two matches. So they will be pretty fresh, and that's bad news for the two Brits. And there are the two Brits, the number 3 seeds, the number 3 in the world. At one stage they've been number 1, quarter-finalists in the All England Championships this year, and in pretty ruthless form so far. Just took their foot off the accelerators a little bit in their third round match in the second game, but were devastating early on. By in the opening round by dint of their number 3 seeding, and then beating Thomas Tescher and Karin Mette from Germany, and then Fredrik Bergström and Joanna Persson from Sweden. Romped home in the first game, but somewhat less impressive in the second. But Jill Clark alongside me, they go in as favourites here.
Well, this is a very tough match for them, and that second game yesterday against the Swedes, well, they were 13-10 down before really getting their act together and coming through, perhaps a little bit of nerves, but this is going to be a very tough match indeed.
Gail, like Nathan, 26 years of age. Nathan originally from Nottingham, now living in Copenhagen. Gail from Bedford, but spends some of her time in Denmark.
Yes, that's right. They both play for a Danish club, and of course Nathan lives in Denmark because his girlfriend is Danish, and so he's moved out there to live.
I was reading some of your program notes, and you were mentioning the fact that he can look very laid back on court, but he burns inside.
Absolutely. He has this tendency to wander around the court with his head held low and looking as if he really isn't interested. But trust me, he is. He really is fired up for this championship. He's talked about the fact he really wants to do well here in the World Championships and in the Olympics next year.
They met once before, these two pairs, in the final of the Thailand Open a few months ago, and Chen and Zhao won that convincingly in the third game. 11-4, 8-11, 11-love. Seesawing match, but they won going away.
Yes, and of course this Chinese pair also runners-up in the All England earlier this year. So, I mean, they are a very good and very developing pair. They haven't been playing that long together.
So anticipation here, a rather deathly hush, because people know this is going to be a very, very tough one here for Nathan Robertson and Gail Emms, up against the number 13 seeds, Chen Qiqiu and Zhao TingTing, who beat them pretty comprehensively in the end in that Thailand Open a few months ago. and who have not been pressed so far. Elaine Kong from the US in charge. Service judge Gilles Cavert from France.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Nathan Robertson, Gail Emms, England. On my left, Chen Qiqiu, Zhao TingTing, People's Republic of China. Gail Emms to serve to Zhao TingTing. Love all. Play.
So it's Gail Emms to begin this quarterfinal. Oh, lovely shot from Chen. Beautiful disguise on the drop.
Service over.
Yes, he's a very dynamic player, and being a left-hander, he does tend to be very deceptive overhead.
Chen and Zhao, the finalists in the All England back in February. Lost to Zhang and Gao, the #1 seeds to win these World Championships this year. Yes, good poise from Nathan Robertson.
Love all. Second server.
Yes, this is going to be vital as far as the English pairing are concerned, that Nathan, when anything is pushed down the side of the court, that he takes it as early as possible.
One love. Second server.
A few honorary Englishmen. There's good work at the net from Zhao TingTing.
2 love. Second server.
Yes, I think this could be the real deciding factor in this match, actually, is which of these two women can really dominate the net area.
You were saying to me that up until very recently, it was 90%, 80 to 90% the man and very little to do with the woman, but now the woman has a much more prominent role to play in mixed doubles.
Oh, very much so, and so much has developed with this discipline more than any of the others. I mean, of course, the whole game of badminton in all the disciplines has improved. It does in every sport, but this has changed dramatically. It used to be the case that the lady virtually never came back past that front service line, whereas now she has to smash from the back of the court. She has to defend from the mid-court area. It's a great role for the ladies.
And what's the motivation behind that? Is that changing of technique? Rackets have got a bit more flexible?
Yes, and therefore the way that players can defend. So going back 20 years or so, the man smashing from the back of the court would smash through a lady's defence because the rackets were that much heavier. You couldn't react that quickly, and of course it needs physical strength. Now the rackets are more flexible, a lot lighter. The defensive play has improved considerably, and therefore rallies can be kept going, and therefore the workload has to be shared more.
Server.
A little mistake there from Gail, and
1.
a little tap of encouragement from Nathan. Zhao again, very useful at the net. Just 20 years of age. In.
Incredible smash from Chen Qiqiu, leaping round the head.
25, 5 years older than his partner. Very much the junior pair in terms of age. And again, Zhao showing a considerable power there with that smash. And it's a very impressive start for the Chinese. Second smash, but he got it.
5-1, second server.
Yeah, it's just an indication in that rally of just how competent, especially this Chinese pair are at defending.
Oh, beautiful touch. Feather touch from
6-1,
Zhao
second
TingTing.
server.
She has such variety there, just playing the deft touch, but we saw earlier on the power that she can create, and that's the problem for the English pairing. They don't know what to expect from her. Once again, we can see how competent, especially Zhao TingTing, is on her defensive play.
She lost the rally, but again, extraordinary reactions in retrieving from Zhao. Important that the English pair don't get down on themselves. It's been a disappointing start, discouraging start in many ways, but they've got to keep their heads up. They're not playing badly, it's just that the Chinese are playing so well.
Yes, and especially Zhao TingTing. I think somehow they have to keep the shuttle away from her at the net, but that's easier said than done because she's really forcing it at the moment. She is coming forward at every possible opportunity. But I think Gail has to perhaps do the same thing and take all those half chances she possibly can to move forward.
Just about her first mistake of the match so far.
Yes, but it was interesting to me the fact that Gail Emms, she's encroaching in on the net and looking a threat, and I feel almost that she forced that error just by threatening at that net area.
And again.
3-7.
Yes.
Second server.
Very clever flick from Chen Qiqiu.
I'm slightly concerned. Gail Emms seemed to be holding her back after that rally. I just wonder whether she may have strained that slightly.
There's a bit of indecision. Wasn't sure whether Gail was going to go for it and whether it was out.
7-3.
Yes, I think perhaps Nathan just wasn't really thinking about what the replies could be. Doubles in badminton is so much thinking ahead. You don't just react to the shot. So much of singles is if your opponent is doing something, you react to it. Whereas in doubles, you've got to plan ahead much more.
5-6, second server.
Difficult rally like that.
7-3.
Yes, very much so. It's always good to have a long rally. It settles the nerves, and you're absolutely right. To come out on top at the end of that can change the momentum of a match. Shouting Ting taking rather long to serve, and Gail Emms just saying wasn't ready, so they'll play a let. Nathan really letting the shuttle drop too low there. He has to step forward into these little mid-court pushes and drive the shuttle back as flat as possible.
Come on.
It's a much more even contest. The Chinese went off to a racing start and looked as if they could overwhelm the two English, but it hasn't been that way. Pretty even match right now.
And that's wonderful play from Gail Emms, standing her ground at the net, not being intimidated by her opponent. And great reaction too.
Yes, they're picking it up now. And that look said a lot. They're beginning to fancy the task here, and the crowd are with them.
Service over. Sorry. 5-8, second server.
Got to the semi-final of the All England with Simon Archer. A really good partnership. We're absolutely thrilled when they got to #1 in the world earlier this year.
6-8, second server.
Just 2 points adrift.
A little dangerous there for Nathan to lift across court. It really invites the smash, especially to the left-hander. Directed straight down at his partner. Golden rule of mixed doubles is that the man should lift so that the straight smash comes down on him.
Go! 7-5.
Just one slight error from Robertson, and in they came and took advantage.
Yeah, she's so phenomenally quick, but also in reading the game, Zhao TingTing, the half opportunity, my goodness, she was there almost before you even hit the block.
Again, brute force
10-6.
from
Second
Chen
server.
Qiqiu.
I think perhaps forgetting that Chen's the left-hander, lifting to his forehand side.
Did really well to get his body out of the way of that.
11-6.
Flexible as well as powerful, and suddenly the lead up to 5 points.
Second server.
7-all.
Great interaction between these two whenever they make a mistake, which isn't often a comforting hand, very quickly.
Service over. 6-12.
Andy Wood on the left and John Quinn on the right, the England doubles coaches.
Not allowed to actively coach during the games. You can do it at the end of games.
That's right. In the 90-second timeout, or of course in the 5-minute interval in between second and third game. Coach is heavily involved nowadays.
6-12, second server.
Chen launching himself upwards, and down it came again with real quickness. Good work from Robertson.
Second server. Service over.
Read that without any difficulty.
12-7.
8-all.
Service fault called. 12-7. Second
Racket
server.
head too high, says the service judge.
Not allowed to gain advantage.
9-8. Go, go.
I just can't believe that she
13-7.
missed
Second
out
server.
there. And suddenly, the Chinese within 2 points of the first game. Yeah, out it was. Good call. And they got the serve back.
Service over. 7-13.
Good bit of retrieving from Robertson there. And a good call as well. Not much in it.
Once again, I feel the influence of Gail Emms going forward to the net to threaten her opponent. In other words, saying, I'm here. If you get the shuttle over, I'm going to be in the right position to play it, forcing the Chinese into error.
Again, Emms forceful at the net. So this game, not a foregone conclusion. And that's a waste.
9-13, second server.
Yes, he was almost on his way to the back of the court before he finished serving. I think that's why he made the error. Stay with the serve. Same as net shots, any little accurate shots, you've got to stay with it and then move afterwards.
10-13, second server.
Out it is, and they're edging closer. They looked outclassed early on, but no longer. Now, can they turn this momentum
11-13.
into something really important and take this first game? Oh dear. Zhao looked away from the shuttle, I think, there.
Yes, I suspect you're right. I think he was watching his opponent, could see where the gap was and forgot to actually watch the shuttle onto the racket.
So a chance now for the Chinese to take this first game. Good make-up there from Nathan Robertson.
13-11, second server.
Like that.
14.
And
game
no wonder
point 11, second server.
Gives them game point. Very lucky, but she'll take it. And we'll take one more. Robertson in particular, and a finish to match.
Yes, it was tremendous positioning as well. Gail Emms going forward to the net, and therefore Nathan Robertson moved his base position further forward so that he could take the little push as early as possible. Wonderful play from the English pair.
So again, they rest the serve back. Retrieving from Zhao TingTing, but Robertson won't thank himself for that final shot.
Yes, it's almost as if you get frustrated because she's getting so many of the big power smashes back that he feels he's got to try something extra special and is therefore making the error.
And those two serves brought absolutely zilch.
14-11.
And once again, game point. Away it goes. And they take the first game in the end, 15-11.
First game won by Chen Qiqiu, Zhao TingTing, 15-11.
Disappointing end. Well, they looked outclassed early on, but in the end there wasn't a lot between the two pairs.
No, not at all. I mean, I just felt that once they'd settled the nerves, the English pairing, they've got the weaponry. They most definitely can win this match and go forward to the semi-final. It's all a question of the controlling of the nerves when it gets tight. And of course, the Chinese...
And all.
Love all. Play.
Zhao to start us. Certainly does take her time.
Service over. Love all.
Good return.
1-love.
Very little backswing of the racket there from Nathan.
But again, Zhao so quick in when she sees the opportunity.
1-love.
And a ruthless finish.
That was a remarkable shot from Gail because the shuttle had actually gone past her at the net.
Emms trying to step in, and Zhao saying, I can do a bit of that myself.
Service over.
Chen Qiqiu, coach to the Chinese pair. There he is. I used to play mixed doubles against him, you know.
Successfully?
Next question.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Gorgeous shot from Chen Qiqiu.
1-2.
Yes, it wasn't only right into the corner, but totally deceived his opponents. Did the unexpected. Well, Zhao TingTing just a little bit worried that the shuttle was going to come over.
10-12.
Right idea. She's got to keep the shuttle into that little mid-court area, and by that I mean just pushing it past the front court player, but still in front of the rear court player.
Well done. Good anticipation, clinical finish.
3-2, second server.
Quite surprised she tried the same return as she made the error on just a couple of rallies ago.
Now, things beginning to conspire against Robertson and Emms at the moment. A little bit of bad luck. One or two shots going astray. They've got to stop this right here. And looked like he was pushing too hard there.
Yes, and this is the sort of thing that bothers me with his body language, the fact that he appears to get down on himself, he shakes his head, he looks disappointed. Now, even if he's feeling very strong and mentally tough, what sort of message does it show to his opponents? And that's what I think he's got to change, just to say to his opponents, okay, right, well, I've made an error, I'm not fussed about that, I'm in here for the next rally. It's too much away.
Got to work hard now.
Second server.
And super work from Zhao TingTing. She will not be denied up there.
It was a tremendous rally, but she's so committed at the net. Lunges forward in an effort to take it as early as possible.
Again, looked like a bit of a heave, didn't it? It was an inelegant shot. Can understand it. Pressure's on here. And she is such a good retriever. Zhao obviously has a feeling you've got to bury it. Well, there's so many shots at his disposal. You can't guess.
Well, that's right. And also the fact that Gail Emms was waiting, committed to her backhand defence. No way she had time to get the racket to her forehand side.
And suddenly a 6-point cushion still on the first serve. A rather anxious looking English bench.
Second server.
So fast.
9-2, second server.
Again, that was very nearly behind her. And you said near the beginning of this match that Zhao at the net might be the decisive factor, and it looks like it is.
Very much so, and it's slightly worrying to me the fact that Nathan Robertson now is trying a few trick shots. It's almost as if he's lost his discipline, and instead of sticking to the game plan, what tactics have we decided before the match? What's Andy Wood said to him in that 90-second timeout?
13, 11.
Well played, Gail. Not sure how much control she had on that, but it was terrific reflexes. Will it be important? Will it be the spark that they need now to turn this around?
You know, I really do sense that if they could just string together a couple of good rallies, that they'd be right back in this. There is absolutely no reason why they can't come back. They have everything in their games. They've just got to believe in themselves. They've got to dominate that net, and who knows what could happen.
She was rather fed there,
Second server.
Zhao TingTing. Yes, the net worked in the favour there, but
second server.
they're happy for scraps. Asking if the racket was over the other side of the net. Oh, yes. vicious rally. Again, extraordinary retrieving from Zhao, but Robertson buried it that time.
4-10, second server.
And they're on a bit of a run here. Now then, can they keep the pressure on? Close the gap further.
5-10, second server.
They did this in the first game, but couldn't make it count. They have to here. Good serve, good follow-up.
Yes, anticipated well. She created her own luck. Shuttle hitting the frame of the racket and just going over. But she was there. She was in the right place.
Shame to bring that sequence to an end for the two English. 4 points off his second serve, but again, just looks as if he loaded up a little bit too much.
Yes, he knows that was such a golden opportunity. Well, that's 3 errors in this game, at least, that she's made on that return of serve when there's a low serve to the tee. She's just trying to brush across the shuttle, bring it down at that steep angle.
Now it's in. Robertson thinking it was going long, but not the velocity there. And inside the line. And they're 3 points away from the semi-final.
12-6, second server.
For once, Zhao getting a little carried away.
6-12.
And this is where the English need a good serve, anticipate the third shot. If you're serving to the tee, who's going to cover the forehand side? Who's covering the backhand?
Shot that was, bringing a rocket right across it and just floating it over.
Incredible angle for the winning shot, but the whole of that rally, the English pair were on the attack. They never once lifted the shuttle, and it all started with that good low serve and Gail intercepting the third shot.
The lead back to 5. Super touch. Chen Qiqiu. Total disguise.
It's incredible. He has such a powerful smash that he's such a threat. He leaps in the air and at the very last moment just checks the shot and plays the drop shot. You really have no chance. You have to stand back in court and wait for the hard smash.
So the standard of play now at its highest. And a little breather for both teams. Breathers at the umpire's discretion.
Very much so, and I think with the quality of play we've had, it would It's absolutely necessary that the players do quickly towel down, otherwise the perspiration drips onto the court and then that can become dangerous.
Second serve, 7-12.
Service over. 1-8.
Mistake in the end. Frightening reflexes from Zhao there earlier on. He must wonder what on earth he can do to break it down.
Well, I wonder whether, in fact, Nathan should be placing more of his attacking play at Chen Qiqiu, because I think that the Chinese now are in such a rhythm of Zhao TingTing returning his smashes that perhaps mix it up a bit more.
8-1, second serve.
Well, that just proving that, in fact, maybe it's the man on the Chinese pair that has the weaker defence.
Service over. 1-8.
Yes, they work the rally so well. Big finish from Chen. And the serve changes.
Frustration at the end of that rally shown from Nathan Robertson, but he's got to keep his discipline. They're right back in this.
Working like a Trojan, but in the end, they break them down.
13-9.
2 points away. Again. Set up 14. So easily.
Match point.
And here,
9.
match point. They got it. Games had a rather strong similarity, really. Midway through, it looked very competitive, but in the end, the Chinese Zhao TingTing and Chen Qiqiu moving away, and they will have a medal, and it's disappointment, I'm afraid, for Nathan Robertson and Gail Emms.
15-11, 15-9.
They deserved it, and particularly Zhao TingTing, who was the player of the match.
Without any question, I think Zhao TingTing came forward at every opportunity. She had a wonderful defence, and I think perhaps her mental approach and her body language helped lift their side tremendously. And that scoreline, well, I knew it was going to be a tough match, but it is bitterly disappointing for the English.
2 competitive games, but in the end, Chen and Zhao winning without too much pressure. And they go through to the semi-final, and they'll play the Koreans Kim Dong-mun and Ra Kyung-min.
Ladies and gentlemen, we follow that mixed doubles with women's singles. Please welcome the court officials to court number 2.